How are you supposed to share your food expenses if you're in a relationship? You might have tried Venmoing each other back and forth or doing things like I'll pay for groceries if you pay for eating out. This Mind Money Balance audience member writes, my partner and I have a theirs, mine, and ours banking setup. We share an account for groceries and eating out. We put in the same amount monthly, but we almost always exceed our food budget. This means we each pay from our own money from our separate checking accounts to make it to the end of every single month's food budget. The problem with how our food spending is going is that I want us to be accountable for how much money we're actually spending on food. My partner will say they want to contribute more, so they'll put dining out on their card once we've depleted our shared food account. While it sounds nice in theory, I just want to know how much we're spending on our food. And when we keep going over on our shared food expenses, it's impossible to know how much we're actually spending or how much we should be putting aside. Questions. Should we each contribute more to the shared food account? Or should we just stop using our joint food budget for dining out? Or decrease how much we spend on dining out altogether? Signed, we love our pizza joint. If you are new here, my name is Lindsay Bryan-Podvin. I'm a licensed social worker and certified financial therapist, and every single week I drop new videos about the intersection of money and mental health. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of these videos. This segment is called Ask Mind Money Balance, where you can ask me your question. So let's get into the question here. If I understand your question correctly, you have one of my favorite account setups for people who are partnered. And it is a theirs account, a mine account, and a ours account, which means that each of you are putting a little bit of money every single month into a joint account. And within that joint account, you're specifically earmarking some of that money for dining out. Now, what I heard is happening is that after that money gets depleted from your joint account, your partner's going, oh, well, I still want to eat out, so I will just pay for us to eat out. And it can create a lot of tension and frustration. I have a two-part response here depending on what is actually going on, because when I read through this letter, it seemed like maybe the actual dollar amount was the problem, but maybe there was something else going on. If I were to hypothesize on the something else that might be going on, my first question back to you is, why do you want to decrease your food budget? Are there other financial goals that you wish you were putting that money toward, but spending money on dining out is eating away at it? Sorry, I had to include a little pun there. It was so easy. If that's the case, then you can lovingly talk to your partner about how dining out or spending a lot of money on groceries is getting in the way of achieving other goals that you want to achieve in your partnership. You can have the conversation about how to pull back on spending and put the extras toward other financial goals, like saving up for a kitchen upgrade so you can cook a little bit more at home, or saving up for a food tour of Mexico and trying out local Mexican cuisines and specialties depending on the state that you're in, or even enrolling in a cooking class so you can learn how to recreate some of your favorite meals at home. If you are stumbling over your words on how to have that conversation with your partner, I have a video just for you on how couples can make money talk fun. Now, if that's not the issue and you are able to save up for other financial goals and the real issue is that you just want to be adhering to your food budget, then this might be the answer that is more helpful for you. If that's the case, then the issue might be, yes, how much are we actually spending, but it's also, what are you basing the number that you each contribute into the joint account specifically for food off of? For so many people, they find a budget template online, or they find some dusty financial advice that says you're supposed to spend 22% of your income on food, and they hold on to these different numbers without actually deciding, are these the numbers that work for us and are manageable for us? These types of rigid financial goals or rules aren't actually tailored to your unique needs. These types of numbers that you find online or that are thrown out by personal finance gurus aren't based on your unique nutritional needs, your dietary preferences, your eating out preferences, or your cooking habits. And so the number that you and your partner spend on food is going to be different than what somebody else tells you you should be spending on food every single month. In order to find a number that you and your partner should be sticking to based on your unique household needs, I want you to take a look at how much money you've been spending every single month on groceries and eating out over the last 3 to 6 months. And I know what you're thinking. Most people, when I tell them, let's just like pull together how much you've been spending over the last 3 or 6 months, a lot of people go, oh no, Lindsay, I can't do that because last month was weird. We had my parents in town and so we bought dinner for them. Or 2 months ago, our power went out and so we had to eat out a little bit more than usual. But the reality is these exceptions tend to happen more frequently than the rules that we think are actually happening. So I do want you to actually look at how much you've spent on food over the last 3 to 6 months. And in this instance, I want you to look at your joint account of how much money went out and also what your partner spent on food once you've depleted your dining out. The reason for that is then we can find an average of how much every single month you as a household, including what your partner puts on their card, are spending every single month. What do we do with this information? If we see that that number is $750 and you have allotted $600 a month towards groceries and eating out, then you are going over every single month by $150. And then the question becomes, do you want to cut back that $150 and put that $150 to a different goal, like I mentioned in kind of part 1 of this answer? Or do you want to say, you know what? We spend that much every single month, rather than beating ourselves up for going over, maybe we should each just contribute a little bit more to our joint food account and stay within the bounds of what we typically spend. So for example, if you were each contributing $300 a month, you would contribute $375 a month. I hope this 2-part answer helped you out depending on exactly what you're looking for. And if you want a shame-free financial therapist to answer your money and emotions related question, all you have to do is go to mindmoneybalance.com/ask. That's mindmoneybalance.com/ask, and I might answer your question right here. See you in the next video.